So what you just seen there was the intro to MakuluLinux Shift. That was on the live USB. When you boot up on the live USB, that's the very first thing that you see. You can stop the video if you wish, and it takes you directly to the desktop, but it shows you all the awesome things that have been created and changed or added and so forth. So it's probably a good video to watch if you're seriously thinking about installing MakuluLinux Shift. It'll tell you, it gives you a good insight as to the most useful things that you could probably use within the desktop. So anyway, let's get on with the install. Start installation. I'm going to do, this is VirtualBox. So I'm going to do a very simple install. So about Calamares 3.2.20. Okay, next. It's, yep, Perth, Australia, English, default, yep. Let's erase disk. So this is my VirtualBox disk. It's GPT, erase disk, and install. So this is what it's going to do. It's going to make an EFI. A MakuluLinux is going to be installed in the yellow area, and swap will be the pink area. So let's go next. PC TLC, VirtualBox, take all the defaults. I don't want to log in automatically, and we'll use the same password for administrator, and next, and install. So that's your basic install. And that is the install complete. Just remember that when you are doing a simple install like that, that the whole disk needs to be available. So if you've got data that you need on that disk, it's best to back it up. But a simple install like that does wipe the whole disk clean and starts from fresh. So just keep that in mind. So now we'll go to the install desktop on real hardware and have a look around. So here we are in the freshly installed desktop of MakuluLinux Shift, running on my Toshiba laptop. Now on the MakuluLinux Setup Manager, I've found that, I don't know if it's a bug, but if we select network and we go ahead and select our network and whatever, so mine's up and running. If we click network again, for some reason it closes. So I don't know what that's all about. So we need to find that in user share Makulu setup and intro manager. So you've got your network setup. Set up network connection, and next we go to check for updates. So the next goes to the next one there. If we go back to network, set up network connection, that's already done. So then we can go next, or we can click on the box. Either way, please make sure your internet connection is connected before proceeding. So we'll check for updates. Let's do that first. Not all updates can be installed. Run a partial upgrade to install as many updates as possible. Let's do that first. Okay, an upgrade from shift to focal is not supported with this tool. That's interesting. Let's just do a normal upgrade. Let's just continue that and install now. Okay, so it's come back to that same one again after that update. Let's just continue that again. Software on this computer is up to date. So I don't know what's going on there. Let's check for updates again and see what it says. Let's do a partial upgrade. So it gives me the same error. You cannot upgrade. Okay, so let's just open the terminal. Do a sudo apt update. So we'll do an upgrade probably in the terminal. That'll probably sort it. Sudo apt upgrade. And let's just go enter that because the Y is a capital. So that means yes is default. Okay, so that is the updates complete. So that worked all right using sudo apt upgrade in the terminal. I'm not sure why that didn't work under the updates here. Maybe if I did a reboot after the first updates, it may work. I'm not sure. So we've got driver manager. Shouldn't be any, yes, actually there will be drivers in here. That's my Toshiba. So we've got NVIDIA on here. All right, so it's got the NVIDIA drivers there. I'm not going to install those at the moment. I'm not really sure which one is the best one to use these days. Normally for this one, it's the 390, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so that's the correct drive card anyway, so... But I'm not going to do that now. Security. Okay, so it's just closed again. So let's go back to security. So that closed again. I don't know why it did that. Must be a bit of a bug in there somewhere. So you can set up your firewall if you wish. And you can just flick that, toggle that on, and your firewall's up and running. I won't bother doing that at the moment. Then you got your backups, snapshot manager. I do my own my own backups, so I'm not really going to worry about that. But let's just check out what it's using. That looks like the same one as Linux Mint. So let's skip that. Time shift, that's the one, yep. It's the same one as Linux Mint. So you've got the same snapshot tool as Linux Mint in here. And then we have themes. So let's just check out what the themes are doing for us. Change that to yellow, orange, pink, red, purple, some type of aqua color, blue, green, dark green, brown, grey, or dark grey anyway, or a blackish grey. Then you've got the dark theme with a white icon. So I'm assuming that's what the white up top here means. So this one would probably have blue icons. Yes. So that's how that works. I'll stick with that blue at the moment. And now we've got one last thing. Please select your preferred layout below. It will change instantly. We wish you much joy with using MakuluLinux. If you want to donate, just hit the donate button. It will pop up a donation window. So donate's there. If you wish to donate to the MakuluLinux project. I'm going to try this one here, the Unity style desktop. Okay, so I like that because when I hit the start button, you get the overview, activities overview there, which you don't get in the other layouts because if we right click here, sorry, it's this one here is the layout manager. Now if we go back to this one here and we hit the Windows button, then you just get the menu, you don't get the activities overview. Now there might be dash to panel settings, and you can change the dash to panel to suit the way you like it. Let's go back to the layout manager. Let's just quickly have a look at this one. And pretty much they're a change of menu really at the end of the day. So that's that menu there. So it looks like we have to click on these. Oh no, these are shortcuts. Okay, they're shortcuts. And then you've got icon view on the right hand side there. Log out and power off. This one here is a complete icon view, like a Windows 10 type style there. Then we got a narrow type icon style that takes up the whole side of the screen there. And then it looks like you've got all programs, accessories. So you've got the categories on the side there. So that's pretty handy. Sound and video, system tools, universal access, utilities and wine. And then we have this one here. It's been set to the simple layout style. What was this one called? Set to panel layout. Okay, so it tells you the name. So simple style layout. So that's the simple style. And then you can scroll down for each menu. It's quite a nice looking menu anyway, I must say. So pretty handy. So let's go back to the Unity style layout now that we've looked at all those. Your menu has been set to the dock layout. Oh, that's just clear all those. Calendar there and notifications and do not disturb. So you got your full menu there. And you've also got your activities overview. So if we open up a few things here, and then if we go to activities overview, you've got those there. You can move them to your different workspaces if you wish. And dynamically it adds another workspace. That's the way that works. And if you want to move to another workspace, you can hold Control Alt and arrow down like so, and arrow back up like so. So if we right click this menu, we get dash to dock settings. Now that makes it more interesting because then we can move it to the bottom like so, to the top or to the right. You wouldn't want it on the top anyway, but left and bottom are the probably two most used areas there. Launches, behavior, appearance. Quite a few options there on the dock settings. Now if we was to go to the layout manager and let's hit back up for that one, your menu and panel settings have been backed up. So I wonder if it leaves it on the bottom. I'm interested to know. So let's go back to the traditional shift layout, and that's our traditional shift. You got your it's like a Windows 7 type style anyway. So you got files, software, Synaptic package manager, software updater, settings and so forth, log out and shut down, category listings here, and your apps on the side. So let's go back to the layout and let's try the Unity layout again and see if it keeps it. No, actually what I need to do is I need to restore. So I was meant to hit restore, not the layout itself. So let's try that again. So we go to layout manager and let's restore. So whatever changes I had made, it's backed it up. So if you've got a favorite, you can make changes to it and then hit the backup and those changes will stick. The only thing about this one is probably need to drop that down a bit. It's a bit big. and go in the middle. That's not too bad. So click actions, behavior when clicking on the icon of a running application, minimize or overview, which is that, minimize. I think I've changed workspaces. So as you can see, the workspaces have gone up there. So if I hit the Windows key and we move this to workspace 1, back to workspace 1, back to workspace 1, then we're left with, it's still got all those workspaces there, which is interesting. So if we close all these, all right, so the workspaces remain. Normally they disappear. That's a bit unusual. So what's our usage here? Quite reasonable. 2.1 gig of 7.7 gig. You can use a built-in theme. Bit of transparency there, so we'll leave that. So you can choose to move the applications button over to the other side, or traditional left-hand side there. You can choose to show rubbish bin, mounted volumes. There's your rubbish bin there. So we have an on-screen keyboard, full screen gestures, configure gestures, or enable, disable first, I suppose we have to do. Let's check that out. Enable turn on gesture system, that's enable that. Okay, that looks like it's enabled. So that's add an action and a command. I'll do Gnome terminal. Gnome-terminal, I know that's the command for Gnome terminal, so we'll do that. And we need to record a stroke. So I believe it has to be one stroke, so any shape but one stroke. So I'll T for terminal. T for terminal. How about that? So let's go T and opens a terminal. Well, that's pretty awesome, isn't it? I like that. What else have we got? What else can we open up? Google Chrome stable, is it? Let's try that. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it is. Gesture number 2, command, Google Chrome stable. Let's go G, record stroke. G for Google. Oh, that's a pretty good G. Let's see if that works. I don't know. Maybe I haven't done the right command. Yeah, the command. Check out the command. No wonder it's not working. Let's try that again. Let's go gesture G for Google Chrome. See if that does that. Maybe it's not the right command. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice. Oops, I'm still on gestures. What's going on there? Google Chrome stable. There we go. Google. Oh, sensational. This is pretty cool, I must say. I quite like this. What else have we got that we can put a gesture in for? What am I always... Well, I haven't installed Blender because I'm just checking this out at the moment. Simple screen recorder. Let's do that one. Where are we? Gestures. Gestures. Add action. Gesture number 3. Command. Simple screen recorder, all one word. It's open at the moment. Let's add record stroke. Simple. Oh, look at that. Well, that's pretty handy, isn't it? I must say, I actually quite like that. It's quite good. So that is screen gestures. Just make sure that you enable it first. That's what you need to do. So go here, full screen gestures, and enable first. There's a video help guide there if you need it. And that'll take you straight to the website, to the video that Jacques has done on full screen gestures tutorial. So for those who want to know, if you're unsure, if you want to use the full the gestures, the full screen gestures, go to File System, User, Share, Applications, and if you want to set it for an application but you don't know what the command for the application is, you can easily go to this one. So right click and go to Properties, and there's your command. So if we was to open full screen gestures on that one, configure gestures, let's copy this. We're still in gesture mode. Copy that. Let's add action, command, and paste that command in there, and record stroke anywhere on the screen. So C for calc. So let's try that. So let's do that, and that should open the LibreOffice Calc. Oh, what happened to the command? It didn't stick, did it? Paste that. Okay, and then that's the, all right, didn't stick the first time. I don't know if we have to do it on screen, do we? I'm not sure. There we go. Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. Let's update this. Maybe we don't need to do all that stuff. Let's enter that and let's try again. There we go. Okay, so you don't need the percentage U. That might be referring to something else, probably. Help and about 6.4.5.2. So that's C for calc. You could put W for writer, so that's pretty handy. Just make sure when you're using gestures, if you've got some screens up here, full screen, you'll see a little animation on the mouse if you hold it down. If you try to move the screen, it'll do a gesture like so. So just give it like a second. There we go. The mouse has a little animation, then you can move your screen. Sometimes it works, but you're best just to wait just that little bit. So if you wait just that little bit there, and even if you're selecting videos, if you try to do a video real quick, you'll get the gesture. Just give it half a second, and then you can scroll across and select via scrolling. But you just got to wait for a second, otherwise your gestures are working. Got the Makulu Portal, latest news, forums, Makulu Wiki, live chat, report bugs, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, donate, membership, and about us. Pretty good to see somebody make good use of some of the extensions and everything that's available on the Gnome desktop. This is quite unique because I haven't seen anybody take advantage of extensions in this way for layouts on the Gnome desktop. So that's quite unique and quite like that actually. It's pretty cool that you can change menus at the click of a button, and especially put it into the Unity layout, and you can back it up with the changes that you've made. So that's quite good. So if you add any favorites to here, that will also be changed as well. So for example, let's do another backup. Let's right click this, dash to dock settings, put it on the left. Let's go to menu and put a few things on the shortcut. So add to favorites. Terminal's already there. Files is already there. So LibreOffice Calc, add to favorites. LibreOffice Writer, add to favorites. System Monitor, add to favorites. Okay. So what we've done now is we've actually put it back on the left-hand side. We've added some favorites. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 there. So let's go back to the Layout Manager, hit backup, and your menu panel settings have been backed up. So if we go, say, back to this one here, Traditional shift layout has been set. So we're on the traditional and hit the Windows button and you got that. So then we go back to the layout manager and hit restore. Click restore. And as you can see, the panel is still on the left. And you've got all these shortcuts here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they're all intact. So the backup does only one backup, but if you've found a layout that suits you and you've changed it, just hit backup and you can go back to that at any time, and you can, go back to these and have a change for a bit and then just hit restore and go back to your favorite. So you can do that as well. So that's pretty handy. So update manager, let's have another look at that. Check for updates. Please restart the computer to begin using your updated software. We'll restart later. It's doing a bit of a cleanup. A reboot is recommended. All updates applied. Okay. So we've got the typical Gnome stuff here, and you got your shortcut to your settings, which is typical on the Gnome desktop. About, and let's have a look. We've got Gnome version 3.36.3. So right-clicking on the desktop will give you a shortcut to themes, which we've had a look at. You can create new document, new folder, change desktop background, and it's got a few things here. Configure wallpaper options. You can select previous wallpaper, next wallpaper. It will give you the next, I think the next wallpaper in line, or just a random one, I'm not sure. You can centered, scaled, stretch, zoom, or none. Desktop settings, you've got a shortcut to that. You can turn desktop icons on or off. For home, my computer, mounted volumes, network and trash. So that's select a wallpaper. And this is using the variety wallpaper. So as usual, in the MakuluLinux desktop, there's always some amazing wallpapers in there. A lot of these look like abstract ones for shift. That one doesn't look too bad. Now if you right click on the variety wallpaper here, you can position this to the bottom and put it on the bottom. You can put it to the top, to the left, to the right. So you can also adjust this thing as well. So you move your mouse to this side and it moves. You don't have to do anything. You can leave it in the middle and scroll. Well, actually it's not scrolling there. I think it was scrolling when it was on the right, and then it will move that way as well. So probably not a wallpaper I would want to choose. Let's just check out something else here. Let's try that one. Right click and close. That's your wallpaper closed. You can search files and folders. Display settings. So you've got a quick link to display settings on the right click, which is something that people always want to get to when they first get into a desktop, is display settings. So there's no right click on this panel here. There's only right click on there. But you might find if you do a different layout, you might have different results. Oh, so that changes the wallpaper as well. Okay. So I wonder if we restore with a different wallpaper, whether that keeps the wallpaper. That would be interesting to know. So right clicking this panel here, you got dash to panel settings, lock the taskbar, settings, extensions. So you got a shortcut to all the extensions that are in here. And if you know what they are, you can toggle them on and off. So trash, update manager. So these aren't toggling on and off anyway. Oh, yes, they are. So it's a window list. Oh, yeah, okay. That one's not toggling on and off. Screenshot window sizer, shortcuts, system monitor, applications menu. You've got another applications menu there as well if you wanted to use that one. So you've got that menu as well, and you can turn it off. Now you've got the arc menu in there, which is the menu that he's using, because arc menu can change Arc menu's got a lot more menus within it. So you've got the menu styles here. So you can change that by the looks of it. So there is quite a few settings within the Arc menu here if you really wanted to get into it. We won't go into this one too much in this video. Current layout is Mint menu style. Dash to dock is there as well. I think they're using dash to panel here. So anything with a little gear icon there means you can make some changes. So dash to panel is the one they're using here. So I'm just wondering whether, so that that there is the same as right clicking here and dash to panel settings, same deal. I'm just wondering whether you can put the activities overview button on there. You probably have to adjust this window, this menu button here probably. So you've got the top icons plus. So there's the activities button there in the dash to panel settings. If we hit that, then you've got the activities overview button there. Okay, so there it is there. And if you wanted to turn show applications button, okay. So you can show the activities overview there if you wish. And all the other ones are visible as you can see. So just turn that off for now. So he also is using help and about. This is Nemo 4.4.2, which also has in the root file system, you can open as root. So you can open anything here as root. Open as root, put in your password. And you can open as root, and it tells you you are running under elevated privileges. Not that you need to do that unless it's really absolutely necessary. So let's clear off all those notifications there. So we've got software here. This is the software. Update should be up to date. Yep. We can explore software. What have we got here? What are we installing? We're installing from that's a snap. So let's do a search and see what we come up with. Blender's what I normally use for my video editing. So let's see what we've got here. The top one is from the Snap Store. This one's probably a snap as well because you can tell from the name. And this one here is from FlatHub. So there's actually nothing there from the Ubuntu repositories, which is interesting. So you've got a menu there, sign in, software and updates, update preferences. Okay. So it looks like we're getting the snaps and Flatpaks from the software center. So do we have any other? Let's have a look at system tools. You've got GDB installed. So you've got software, software updater, software applications, Synaptic package manager. So that's the other thing you can use. Let's have a look at that. So if we do a search for Blender in here, and there we have Blender 2.82, and that would be from the Ubuntu repositories. Now, this is becoming the norm these days, which is software. The software application has snaps and Flatpaks. Very hard to find anything from the Ubuntu repositories. So if you want to find anything from the Ubuntu repositories at all, Synaptic Package Manager is your friend for that, because that's the quickest search for software from the Ubuntu repositories. So if we go back to the Layout Manager, let's hit Restore, and that brings me back to this setup here. So what I'm going to do is change desktop background. I'm going to select a wallpaper. Let's try that one there, or maybe this one, or that one. That one's not too bad. Let's close that. And let's go to the Layout Manager and hit Back Up. Your menu and panel settings have been backed up. So let's see if that's the same with the wallpaper after we come back to that. So let's check this one out here. So while we're on this one, we'll try this layout here and just check out what applications are installed very quickly. So I'd say check it out yourself, but the problem with that menu is it's not showing the full name. And I find that to be a bit annoying, to be honest. I like to see the full name. Let's try this simple style layout. Let's try the simple style. There we go, look at that. Let's just run through what's installed. They're your favorites. So we'll go from accessories. So he's got the Wallpaper installed and Stacer. They're your games. Graphics. No GIMP, fair enough. Internet. Google by default, interesting. Office. Sound and video. I tried using Kazam, it wouldn't find my mic for some reason. I never have any luck with Kazam, to be honest. System tools, let's just scroll that down. System tools, universal tools, utilities, and wine. Okay, so let's go back to the layout manager and go back to, let's hit restore. And it actually saves the wallpaper. That's quite good. I like that. Very interesting. So in the settings, we also would have your background settings in here. Background. So you've got these ones as well, which don't show up. That's your Debian background. So I don't know why it's got Debian in there. Oh, because it is probably partly based on Debian as well. So let's go back to change desktop background. Go back to that one. Okay, and close that. Let's check out Stacer. That's your Stacer, which tells you about your system information. Startup apps. And all this good stuff here. So it's all pretty good stuff in Stacer. So it's got all your system information down there as well. Quite a handy little tool, that one. Probably should use that a bit more often. So Top Icons Plus, I think, has, so I can pause my recording and save my recording from here. So that's what the Top Icons Plus does. So this one is one of those distros where gparted is actually left on the system itself. Sometimes a lot of distros do not leave gparted after install. In this case it has. LightDM GTK Settings. So you can adjust your settings for your login screen. See if I can get onto my network. I had no luck on the live disk. Hopefully this one works. Unable to mount. I think that's a Samba issue. Etsy Samba, I think it is. Etsy Samba. There's probably no Samba. Oh, there's Samba. smb.conf. Let's open as root. Global settings. So client min protocol equals nt1, file and save. And let's see if that works. Hopefully it does. Network. And there we go. And there we have network up and running. So that's always an issue with Samba on a new install mostly. You've also got a right click, customize. You can customize icon sizes. Smaller, small, normal, large and larger. Direction, vertical, horizontal for the icons, that they can go across this way instead of down that way. You can sort items by name and so forth, reset grid spacing and so forth. So you also got that. So there's a lot of influence from the Cinnamon desktop on this Gnome as well. So it's good to see a bit of that mix, because I think it just brings a little bit more to the table with the Gnome desktop, with that mix within it. It's unusual for these workspaces to stay there. Normally they dynamically disappear, and I think it remains on 2 normally, so I don't know what that's all about. If we go to the menu here and we right click any of these, I would prefer something that's from Ubuntu repos would be handy. So you can add to favorites, you can new spreadsheet, new window, show details. Now if you go to show details, it'll take you directly to that app in the software center, and from there you can remove it if you wish. So there's no uninstall from the menu, but it easily takes you directly to the software center where you can remove like that. So that's pretty handy. So we've got, say, sound and video MPV media player, so we can new window, add to favorites, show details, MPV. It's from the Ubuntu Focal Universe, and we can remove it if we wish, and you can check out the details of that particular application. So anyway, the moral of the story here is you can actually do it from this menu as well. Show details, launch dedicated graphics card you've got here on this one. I didn't see that on the other menu, so you can go to show details, and there you go. Open with dedicated graphics card. I don't remember seeing that. Steam. Now, so you got a lot of, look at all those shortcuts for Steam. Wowee, huge amount there. That's pretty cool. So everyone's got their own launch using dedicated graphics. Did this one have that? Yep, it has. So you can launch that using dedicated graphics. Now, did the other menu have that? I'm not sure. Now, this one doesn't have launch using dedicated graphics. That's interesting. So that was a look around the MakuluLinux Shift desktop. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting and informative, and thanks for watching.